Perhaps one of the most glaring disagreements between Christians and Muslims is the Christian claim that Jesus is the Son of God. A good Quran verse to illustrate the Islamic position is Surah 9, verse 30. And the Jews say Ezra is the son of Allah, and the Christians say the Messiah is the son of Allah. These are the words of their mouths. They imitate the saying of those who disbelieved before. May Allah destroy them, how they are turned away. Now, some alarms should go off when we read this verse. Some alarms should go off when we read this verse. The verse begins by saying that Jews call Ezra the son of Allah. Jews do not call Ezra the son of Allah. The verse goes on to say that when Jews call Ezra the son of God and Christians call Jesus the son of God, we're imitating those who disbelieved before.
We received a question that apparently it says in the Quran that the Jews believe that Ezra was the son of God. Where does this come from, and how do you respond to such a claim?
Oh, that's an interesting question. That comes from the Quran. It's chapter 9. It's the chapter called Repentance, or it's At-Tawbah. And it's the chapter 9, Surah 9, verse 30. And there it says that the Jews say that that Ezra is the son of God. The Christians say that the Christians say that the Messiah is the son of God. They speak with their mouths, but what they have essentially is something they received from the past, and they're speaking absolutely nonsense. And essentially, and God and Allah is against them because what they're saying essentially is a perversion, something essentially like that. And it was so. Now, what's very intriguing about this passage in the Quran is that, of course, everybody who reads it is going, wait, I don't know any Jew who believes that Ezra, a great prophet, and incidentally is considered a prophet in Islam as well, I don't know any Jew who believes that Ezra was the son of God. And we say the son of God, that means the Son of God in a Greek sense, the way Christians believe that Jesus was the Son of God, that he was divine. Okay, there's another term, Son of God, to separate that all Muslims believe that we're all children of God. That's not the accusation here. The accusation is that literally Ezra was a divine being, and Muhammad actually equates the Jews believing that Ezra is the son of God with Christians who believe that the Messiah, namely Jesus, Isa, is the son of God, and then he just condemns it. Now, it's very intriguing is that there are no Jews that I've ever met in my life that believe that. And the Islamic commentators, and there's an enormous amount of literature written on this passage by ancient commentators of Islam who were confronted with the same question: what Jews are we talking about? So the commentators, the Islamic commentators on this, are absolutely brilliant. Many of them say that there was this Jew. I think the name they ascribe him to is a man named Phineas or Pinchas ben Ezra, who they say was this one Jew who had this crazy heretical belief, and Muhammad was condemning him in particular. Or, as I find in the general consensus of Islamic scholars going all the way back. I mean, they really handle it brilliantly in that they state explicitly that there were just these Jews. There was this sect of Jews, perhaps in Yemen, who believed that who had this heretical belief that Ezra was the son of God, and then Muhammad condemns them, and it somehow disappears in the text, like every Jew believes this, but that's not what is intended by the Quran. That's very, very clear. So the Islamic commentators on this, both old and more recently, all the consensus is right down the line. Jews don't believe this. There was either a sect of a few Jews who held this belief, and that would have been heretical. Incidentally, in Judaism, someone believed that Ezra was the son of God, not, again, in the 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse type, like God is our father, not that way, but I mean the son of God in the Greek sense, in the Trinity, he's divine. So we would agree that God's wrath will be upon someone like that. So that's how they respond. The Islamic commentators are very responsible and handle this absolutely brilliantly. There's a little bit of differences between them of precisely which Jews were these. Is this one individual Jew that was rattling this around? Or was this a small group of Jews? And those Jews are no longer around. So that's fine. So that's the source of it.
The verse begins by saying that Jews call Ezra the son of Allah. Jews do not call Ezra the son of Allah.
No, there was this individual Jew who had this or group of Jews that held this heretical belief that Ezra was the son of God, as in the same way that Christians regard Jesus as the Son of God, meaning the second part of the Trinity. This heretical belief that Ezra was the Son of God, this heretical belief.
Some alarms should go off.
وقالت اليهود عزير ابن الله وقالت النصارى المسيح ابن الله ذلك قولهم بأفواههم يضاهئون قول الذين كفروا من قبل قاتلهم الله أنى يؤفكون.
There is only one God, La ilaha illallah.